Blessy, did you make an intro tonight?
Bro, are you doing this again?
Maybe.
We can't do this like every episode.
I know, we can't. Also, just before we start this episode, I just want everybody to know I have and do not own any hentai games. Stop asking me. I don't know any. Do not listen to these people. They are wrong.
Wait, are we recording right now?
Yes, we're recording right now.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe that, 100%.
I hate everything. Well,
I cannot deny nor confirm.
I can confirm 100%. Lived with him for 2 years. That hidden folder on his Steam.
I don't have a hidden folder on my Steam. But,
Oh shit.
hey guys, welcome to PlayingonEZ, where we talk a bunch of bullshit and about video games and movies. I am one of your hosts, Tired Sandwich. To my left or right, I don't really know because I'm not very good at this, is Blessy, the other host, Silver, another host, and the lovely Brand.
Hey.
And then tonight we have a guest with us, Waffle Man.
Waffle Man.
There's no space. It's
Yeah.
just Waffle Man. No
So,
space.
I would like to talk about something since Waffle Man is here.
Okay.
Sammich, I heard you're doing a D&D campaign.
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm doing a D&D campaign at some point. Waffle, since you're here, I also have to ask you,
That's all
what?
you're gonna say about it?
Yes, that's all I'm gonna say about it right now.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Waffle, how tall
He
are
got
you?
guilt tripped into it.
Since I asked
6
everybody
foot.
else, okay, so Waffle is also taller than me. I'm seeing a theme in my friendships. But yes, I am going to be doing a D&D campaign, which we will be streaming most likely at some point. I have not made it yet, and I don't know who else is going to be in it other than Waffle, Bran, Silver. I'm not sure if Blessy wants to be in it, but if he does, then he's more than welcome. And yeah, we, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Again,
So
Guilt trip D&D campaign.
you sound so excited for this D&D campaign.
oh, I'm super excited. I mean, it's gonna be a blast. Right now, I just keep looking at my levels, because our audio levels are kind of, I don't know how to do it yet, so I'm learning. So I apologize, guys, if you listen to episode 1 or episode 0 or 1, and you can't hear me because for some reason I sound super quiet. But if
I can hear you.
But if I move too forward like this, then you can only see my bald head or my starting to bald head. So
Okay.
It wasn't you I couldn't hear. It was Bless.
Technology's hard. Got it.
Blessy was the one that was hard to hear.
So on Tuesday, Overwatch 2 will be dropping. Anybody playing that? That's me.
Definitely not. But
I mean, we've been over this sandwich. We know.
Yeah, he's not a FPS guy.
He's a 2D enjoyer.
Side scroll, yeah.
oh my gosh, I played more than 2. I was just playing a game that was not 2D; it was 3D. Okay.
What about you, Silver?
What about me?
Overwatch 2.
Maybe. That's a big maybe.
Big maybe.
Also, I just want to apologize to whoever watches this on YouTube that Silver has taken his beautiful face from us so we can't see it. I'm just saying. But yeah.
It's cool. We haven't really got the full reveal yet.
He's actually in the middle of doing his nighttime skincare routine, so that's why he's not showing his face.
Okay, so masturbation, that's what he's doing. Gotcha.
See?
There, is that better?
Oh man, now I gotta move it all around.
He
Hold on.
literally turned it on just to prove that's not what he's doing.
He's like, look, here's my hands.
I know, right?
Look right here, guys.
No, it's like, look, here's my hands, guys.
All right. So, we'll start off with Overwatch 2 is coming out. That's pretty awesome for anybody who's into shooters. I know it's gonna be a good game. Like, there's no question. Overwatch 1 was a great game. Not my cup of tea, as everybody apparently knows that I'm only into 2D.
I've heard mixed things about Overwatch 2, but as you said, the original Overwatch, that was a good game. through and
s-
through.
I would assume that
So
even
I'll definitely be checking out Overwatch 2.
yeah, I would assume even if it's not good at the beginning, that they'll make it good. They're pretty. I mean, they're pretty on that game on like fixing stuff. I would assume because it made them a lot of money.
To be honest, I'm excited about the lore because I loved the little cinematic intros and stuff like that Overwatch had about each and every character, and I wanted to know more about that world. And the fact that Overwatch 2 is going to actually have like a real lore behind everything and trying to explain things about what happened to Overwatch, what happened to these people, like that I think is fantastic for that series.
Isn't there like a single player campaign for each person, or just a single player campaign in it now?
I don't know if it's for every single character, but I know for a fact that it's a single player campaign as of right now. I'm not 100% sure if it's for each individual character. If that was the case, I mean that would be cool. I think that'd be a really good idea.
Did you see their MMO they're coming out with?
Yes.
Or kind of have talked a little bit about it? Kind of excited for that one.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're coming out with an MMO for Overwatch,
And it's
Yeah.
for League of Legends. Well, Riot
Oh,
Games,
Yeah.
but
Cool.
they're doing like an MMO based on like the League of Legends world.
I'm so excited.
Which
You don't like
so-
MMOs, so I know you're not excited.
I'm excited.
I am.
That is not necessarily true. I played a lot of WoW. I played Guild Wars, and I played Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Play it now.
I did play Star Wars: The Old Republic recently.
Yeah,
let's play,
he did like a month ago.
Let's hop on WoW right now. Wrath of Lich King just came out again. Let's play it.
Yeah, for classic.
I'm not paying to play that.
Yeah,
Not
me either. I was just joking.
Yeah, let's
But
go
either
back to
way, you
let's go
still
back
wouldn't
to
play
Black
it.
Desert.
no. That's a
That
fucking
game
no.
has so much junk in it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get into that game being so far behind.
No. That game is just trash.
I wouldn't go that far. It has its
Jeez.
moments, but a lot of the stuff is very, very grindy.
To anybody who likes Black Desert, I'm totally joking. It's not actually a trash game. I'm just not good at it, so I'm going to call it trash. Okay, let's keep going forward.
So
Okay, it's one way to do it.
It's just super grindy. It's like Lost Ark. It's the same principle. It's just
most MMOs are super grindy.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
especially towards
Combat.
the late game.
Yeah, combat system in that game is quite amazing. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
combos and different things you can do, but just all the other stuff like training and how like if you don't upgrade a weapon, it breaks, and then you got to start and like just go and grind more for a single level up.
Yeah.
Fair.
Nice. So, Blessy, any more games that you played or this week?
What are you getting at, Sammich?
I'm just asking what you did this week.
No, I haven't done much else. No.
No, he
Okay.
just hasn't done anything.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, we're gonna switch to our guest. Have you played anything this week that's been interesting, or games that you're looking forward to? Waffle.
Looking forward to it would be Evil West, but it keeps getting pushed back. Kind of have been wanting a single Western game besides Red Dead. It's supposed to be like Western vampires or something like that. But other than that, I usually play like Destiny 2 or Hunt Showdown with some friends.
Nice.
Right on.
Sometimes with Bran and Silver.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
That is true. So
Waffle, I've never seen you so happy before.
No, you just never see me on camera ever.
That's true.
That's also a lie. When we met, I was extremely excited. It was very cool.
No, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
all right, Silver, what have you been doing this week? Let us know.
But that was more because I got the cuddly bear hug from Josh.
I know. I give it
That's
a
good.
They're the best.
I've just been really on Cyberpunk. I've been on the grind. Haven't actually played the story mode of the game. I've been doing every gig, every side quest, just getting a bunch of the secrets in the game. I watched Edge Runners, of course. So I mean, I went and got
One
Yeah.
of those people.
yeah. But so I went and got David's jacket in game. I ended up getting Rebecca's shotgun. A couple of the cool cars, a couple motorcycles, just random stuff in the game, and all I've been doing really in that is just testing my build. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Before we get to Brand, I will say Cyberpunk Edge Runners is amazing. Me and Silver and Blessy, if he wants to and watches it, are probably going to do a side episode for that because it deserves to be talked about.
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
You're not allowed to be there, Bran. Just so you know.
Yeah.
No, of course Brand can, but I don't think
It's okay.
she'll be
You
able
weren't
to.
invited.
I don't think she'll be able to finish the episodes before we actually do it.
Probably not. I watch stuff super slow, but what I did watch of it was super good. I think I watched like 3 episodes of it so far.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It really
Yeah,
is.
it's really good.
Yeah, I watched the ending of it today and I cried. And Brand woke up to me in the morning crying because it was a good show.
Wow.
So a typical morning, Bran.
I told you, hey man, you asked me if it was like Gurren Lagann, and I did say it was like.
Gurren Lagann was definitely worse.
Yes, but on the same sense, it was still pretty messed up.
Yeah, no. But we'll talk more about that later, me and you.
Yeah.
And whoever
Not me.
else.
Not me.
I mean, you
Not allowed.
can just join in and say. I mean, we already know what you're gonna say.
I might.
It's a 10.
A 10.
You guys are
Yeah.
gonna say that
Oh,
too.
good.
Sounds like it.
So
I doubt-
go
don't think
go
I
ahead.
will.
Sorry. Go ahead, Blessy.
I don't see myself giving it a 10, but
No, I'll talk later about it. So now to Bran, what did you play this week? And any games you're excited for?
Man, I haven't played like actual video games in a long time. TBH. I played some Realm right before we started this. I've been playing like card games and stuff on my Switch, but that's doesn't really count as a video game. I
We
just
played
kinda-
7 days too.
Oh yeah, we did play
I was
7
about to
days.
say,
That's
you
right.
guys literally
I
just played
forgot.
7 days.
We were
Play
streaming
video games anymore. Play 7 days. Like,
Oh
streamed
yeah,
it.
we did stream
Like,
7 days. That's right.
Sandwich streamed it yesterday.
That's right. We did
Mm.
stream 7 days. All right, I guess I did some
Mm.
stuff.
I keep telling her that the card game still counts as a game because it's still a card game.
No, I know.
And
It's just not a video game.
It's on your Switch. It's a video game. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's
don't-
video poker.
Yeah,
I know. It's
video-
Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't count that as a video game, but
that
yeah, I guess
gambling-
I did play a bunch of stuff that I don't even remember.
It's that gambling addiction you got over there.
Totally.
Yeah, no longer allowed on Twitch though, right, Blessy?
I mean, it is now for like the next week or 2, I think. I think it was like the 13th or 18th, if I remember right. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but you were telling me a little bit about it, how it got they're taking gambling off of Twitch.
Might
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
Damn. I was just
Lot of-
about to get into that.
A lot of the younger audience
Hey,
doesn't
you
really
still
need
bet
to.
on sports.
True.
Yeah, right.
I don't know a whole bunch about sports either.
Yeah, sports betting, I know nothing
I mean,
about.
it's rigged anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about it either. I played.
Tell us about this terrible game you've been playing. Sam.
I have played more
Let
than
us
one
know.
game this week. I have played some games. I actually played the demo for Harvestella, which is the new game that I was told was going to be like Stardew Valley mixed with JRPG. It was more like Rune Factory mixed with mixed. Okay, really?
Blessy thinks he's the only one that knows how to pick out really good games. He's like, if I wouldn't play it, it's trash.
He plays like the same 3 games over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that do that.
I do that.
Yeah. So
I've literally been playing Destiny since Destiny 1 to 2. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like there's literally nothing ever changes. You do the weekly, you do the dungeons, you do the raids, and you do it again the next week.
True.
I get it. I'm the uncultured one. So the uncultured one
Well, you
played.
just like story games. So things where you rinse and repeat week in and week out isn't your forte.
Yeah. So I played Harvestella. It seems interesting. I'm probably gonna buy it when it comes out November 4th, I think is what it said. And I'll probably play it for a while. I might stream it a little bit. I also got to try the demo for Diofield Chronicles, which just came out, and I do want to get that. It is Square Enix's play on a Fire Emblem game. The graphics on it are okay. They don't seem as good as a Fire Emblem is more anime. This looks like they went more trying to go like cartoon realism. But I mean the battle system's interesting. Instead of like it's still turn based, but like when you run up to the enemy, that's when your guy starts fighting and the other person starts fighting you. There's no like there's so it's not turn. What's that called? Like it's not turn based, but
Real-time strategy.
kind of, yeah. Like your people, as soon as you get within a circle, there's like a circle around the enemy. When you get into that, the enemy runs up to you and fights, and then you choose special moves at the same time. I only played about like an hour of each of these, maybe an hour and a half, but both games seem interesting enough, and that they will probably be fun for somebody. You know, I love Fire Emblem, so
It'd
Diofield.
be fun for you.
I mean, there's more than just me that likes those kind of games, but yes. Also, uh, you know, I'm still playing Steel Rising, and that
Uh-huh.
game, I don't know if it's good yet. As I was telling Silver and everybody else, I know you guys are all captivated. You're like, fuck, just shut up.
Never.
Nothing like that, man.
Nope.
So the
I'm absorbing
game
the wisdom.
The game itself is, I like the combat. It is super slow, as Blessy has brought up last time. It is very, very slow to move. The combat itself is fun, but like the story, as far as I know right now, is just the queen sent you to stop the king and you need to find this person. And then you go to find the person and they're like, okay, you need to find this person. And then, you know, you find that person, they're like, okay, you need to find that person. And it's not very interesting so far.
Riveting.
Yeah, like tonight before we recorded, I did find a letter which showed that you were like built for a specific person. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's like a background story going on that I don't really understand yet. I'm going to keep playing it, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, enough about my uncultured boring stuff. We watched a movie.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
Yes,
I
that's what
mean-
we're gonna.
We watched a movie.
Some of us.
Some of us, yeah.
Some of us.
Yeah,
watched
some of
the
us.
movie.
Some of us
took a
laughed,
nap.
and some of us fell asleep.
Yeah, some of us fell asleep. I wonder who that was.
Oh no, it was me. I'm gonna be the first one to admit that.
So we watched.
The first time I watched it, I fell asleep too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Not gonna lie. When rewound it and rewatched it, I was like, why did I do that?
so we watched The Munsters, which is the new remake, directed by Rob Zombie, who also wrote the screenplay for it. It's basically takes place before the actual TV show that was made in, I don't remember. It's got to be what, 70s, 80s?
I think it was the 80s,
Pretty,
actually.
I think it was the 80s.
Yeah.
1964 to 1966.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I was gonna
that's
say it was way older.
It's
than that,
old.
Yeah.
Was it?
It's been
Yeah, it
around
was
for a while.
It
My,
was before
my
color
mother
TV.
grew up watching that show.
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to watch it with my dad. Not that clearly I was watching reruns with my dad because I was
Yeah.
not alive.
Yeah, I watched it with my great grandma. But yeah, we watched that, and I'm not going to start with Blessy because he told me not to. So, Waffle, what is your score for this movie
No,
before we
he's
get
not
into
Waffle.
spoilers?
He's
Waffle
Waffle
Man.
Man.
You gotta
Waffle
you gotta
Man,
gap it. You gotta
023.
gap it.
Oh, the waffle?
7, 8,
Man.
5, 9,
Yeah.
8, 7, 13, 14.
Sorry, excuse me. Waffle Man. What
we
is your score for this movie before we get into spoilers?
I'm not gonna be generous at all. This movie was trash. Like a 1.
Damn.
Like just a 1.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Well,
Well, you
Interesting.
guys go into detail at the end, so
yeah.
just a score,
Yeah,
just a 1.
Yeah, I'll do the scores right now.
Yeah, we'll do the other stuff later. All right, now we will move on to Blessy. What's your score?
So, see, I gave this a little more than a 1.
A 1.01.
Oh, wait.
I actually-
Wait.
What are we waiting for?
I have an idea. I'm super lazy, so can we change the rating system to like 1 to 5 instead of 1 to 10?
No.
What?
What's the difference?
Yeah,
I mean,
Is it like
less numbers.
yeah, but it's harder to get an average. 1
Yeah.
to 10, 5 is like it was decent, and then 10's amazing.
Well,
you go 1
I
to
mean,
5, you start.
2.5 is the middle, Sean. That's
No,
not
it
brain
doesn't
breaking
work.
either.
Yeah,
but
never mind.
There's
That
just
doesn't.
not as much of a range.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, keep going, Blessy.
So,
Damn, it's really hard for y'all to count. All
1
right,
to 10?
sorry, Blessy.
Yeah, 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Okay. I'll explain it later, I guess. I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Okay, I like that.
I can't wait for the explanation. I definitely want to hear it for sure because I think you're being far too fucking generous with that. Like, just.
All
Did
right.
you go back and watch the movie? Just curious.
No, I couldn't even stomach the second time around. You know what I mean?
I made it halfway through the second time. I was like, all right, I'm going to bed.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the person that just said that. Silver, what is your score?
I agree with Waffle Man. It's a 1.
Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later. My score on it, which is different than all these people so far, I give it a 7. I enjoyed it immensely. And
Yeah.
it was, to me, it was good, and I'll explain later why. But that's my score right now. Now we go to the one that everybody's been waiting for because she wasn't here last time when we did Samaritan. And people have asked specifically what her score was for that movie. But let's get the score for this movie instead.
Okay, well, just to preface all that real quick, I wasn't there for the Samaritan one because I didn't watch the movie. So I didn't want to like just hang out here and listen to everybody and not have anything to contribute. But regardless of that situation, I really liked the Munsters. I thought it was cool. I've never seen the original TV show, so I didn't really know like anything about it. But yeah, I liked it a lot. It was cool.
That's not a rating.
Yeah, what's your rating?
Yeah, I gotta give a score. Oh shit.
And we're the ones having trouble with the numbers.
No, I really like it. I'm gonna give it a 10, and everybody's gonna make fun of me for it, but I really liked it. So I
It's a
give it
10!
It's a 10!
It's a
It is a
10!
2 for 2 on the 10s.
So it's
I
safe to say
know.
the Samaritan was also a 10 for Bran.
Yeah, most likely.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're trending that way.
Brainless
Maybe.
watch.
It's gonna end up being an actual good movie, and she's gonna be like, "It's a 2.
It's a
It wasn't
1.
great."
I know.
Right.
I
That
know.
shit's a
Every time you guys go
-1.
really low, I'm gonna go high, and when it's like an actually really good movie that you guys like, I'll be like, nah, bro. Like, that shouldn't exist.
Right, you're like that movie was trash.
All right.
But yeah, no, this one was awesome.
All right. Before we get into spoilers, I'm gonna do what Blessy said before, and
What did he
kinda-
say?
explain the movie, but not in as much detail as I've been doing the last 2 episodes. So
Okay.
The Munsters is a remake of the original TV show, but before the actual premise of the TV show in the in the TV show, it was about the Munster family and their kids. In this one, you get kind of the story of how Herman met his wife, Lily, and how they ended up in, I think it was Los Angeles, right?
In Hollywood,
Hollywood.
yeah.
In Hollywood, where the show will take place. Rob Zombie did it, so you kind of just go through. It's just the story of how they met and what they went through to get to the point where they're in Hollywood. And a lot of things happen in the movie, but it's mainly just their story of meeting each other, falling in love, which happens extremely quickly, and then shenanigans.
And how he was created.
Yeah, and how
Oh,
he
yeah.
was created. All right, so
You could describe it a little more than that.
oh, okay, I can't. Okay, because I feel like I was
do
doing
what you
too
wanna
much.
Do what you want.
You were telling the whole movie.
Yeah, no, but bless you,
You were
right?
you were making the movie better.
Yeah, like you were.
Listening to you talk
Sure.
made every movie better.
That's- yeah.
Given more effort than these movies have been more.
I mean, I disagree with that on this one, but so basically, you start the movie off with Herman Munsters being created, and his creator takes all the best musicians and runners and all the different body parts that will make the perfect being. Because I'm not going to say human because he's not a human. And then he sends his employee, which is the guy from Lost. I don't remember the actor's name. And he is supposed to steal the smartest man in the world's brain, who also had the dumbest brother in the world. And of course, as the movie goes, he steals the dum-dum's brain, not the smartest one. And so Herman Munster is born. He's a comedian of sorts, mainly dad humor.
He's Sammich when it comes to the
Not
jokes.
even close to Dad Homer.
Damn, yeah,
No.
Sandwich is a lot better.
Dad humor is way better.
Yeah,
Dad humor
agreed.
is way better.
You guys are just biased because you're dads. His humor is exactly like the two of yours. I'm just saying.
No, it's not.
So,
Matt, you left a lot at that for some reason.
so,
Dad humor. He just gets it.
so we get Herman. His creator abandons him. He kind of goes with the employee of the person that made him.
Floop.
Becomes like Floop becomes a singer, and this is how Lily sees him on the TV. Right? That's where.
No,
sees
it's
him?
before that. He sees her on the TV when he's unveiling Herman. Well, he's not
Oh
even
yeah,
Herman.
yeah. So she sees him on the TV. She falls in love with him immediately, and then eventually she goes to find him at one of
Yeah,
his
that he's
concerts, and he immediately falls in love with her. And so as the story goes on, the dad, who, let me tell you, the actors in this were actually really freaking good. Like, you guys may not like the movie, but the actors were pretty spot on how they look, in my opinion, to the old
Look-wise,
show.
yes.
Yeah, I could give you that.
And the guy who played Herman Munster was, I have the name right here. Hold on. Jeff Daniel Phillips, and even Sherry Moon and Daniel Roebuck, who played Grandpa. All of them, in my opinion, were exactly how the characters in the Munsters acted.
Herman and the dad killed it in
Yeah.
this movie. They did amazing. The guy that did Herman did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
That's why I got a 1.
Okay.
that was a solo. That was the best thing about it. It was a
Yeah,
solo
that was the
reason,
that was the
apparently.
point. That was the point they got.
So then we proceed to Herman falling in love with Lily, Lily falling in love with Herman, the dad not liking
Hold
it,
on.
and
Lily fell in love with Herman first.
yes,
Yeah.
I know. I'm okay. I'm trying to get through this so that we
Well,
can,
I mean, if you're gonna give them details, you want to give them accurate details.
I
right?
was trying to do what
Leslie, I don't know if you care enough about this movie to worry about how accurate the details are.
I mean,
He gave it a 5. It was
Yeah.
average.
I gave it a 5.
Oh, okay.
So
That's-
yeah,
that's
so how Lily falls in love with Herman, Herman falls in love with Lily, and then how the dad wants to stop that from happening and consistently tries to stop it, but nothing ever works. And then we get to meet Lily's brother, who's trying to sell their mansion to an ex-wife of the father's who wants revenge against him. So as the movie continues, they get married. Herman is tricked into signing the mansion over because he's a big dum-dum. And that's kind of where the movie ends. And you see them like, okay, well, now we can't be here, so let's go to Hollywood. Because if Herman sees a guy on TV who looks scary, I guess. I don't know. He was ugly.
I think Herman thought he was like ugly compared to him.
Yeah. Herman thought he was ugly compared to him. So he's like, man, if I go to Hollywood, I'm going to be a star. And
It was an actor in like a horror film. So he thought that he was actually a monster like him when it's really just a guy in makeup. So he thought Hollywood had more monsters like him, so he wanted to go there.
yeah, so they go to Hollywood, and the first night it's Halloween. So of course everybody's dressed up. So they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the place. It's awesome." They find this really old house and they're like, "We need to buy this house." And so they buy the house. The lady's like, "Take it cuz it's a thorn in my side." And then we get the next day where they go outside and everybody's normal human beings again, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're so ugly." And that's almost where the movie ends. Then we get the brother coming back and he's like, "Hey, I made it rich. Here's your portion of the money." And now Herman's rich and doesn't need to work anymore because he's got all the money in the world.
I think the check was for like $1,500, if I saw it correctly.
You missed some zeros probably.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know how much the check was worth, but that's pretty much where the movie ends with
Him laughing.
yeah, him laughing, and they're rich now apparently. Now, Munsters is kind of like the more goofy Addams Family, in my opinion. Like, while Addams Family was more serious with a little bit of comedy, this one was goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing we should talk about is like, whoever wants to say first, why did you guys choose the score that you chose?
Well, I guess we'll go in order that we gave the score. So.
Oh, so me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead,
Awesome.
Waffle.
Okay,
Man.
so I have a few things. One would be certain scenes carried on way too long in the movie, and it just one of the things that bugged me the most, like the whole Nosferatu or whatever that dude's name was. I know he wasn't Nosferatu, but that's what he was. That's what he was supposed to be, and it's what he looked like. Like that whole date scene was just ongoing, and then he starts talking about every rat he's ever lived with, and that just dragged on, and like the whole scene where Lily falls in love, they have that like the whole and then she kept like they kept going back to her like oh, I'm in love with him, and then they go back to Herman, and then they go back to her, and she's still doing the same thing. So it was just certain scenes just carried on that weren't funny. Like if it was something that was funny and like kept like progressively staying funny, it would have been fine, but it literally just dragged into nothingness. Like it was scenes that weren't funny that just carried on.
Now,
And then go ahead.
Now you are a pretty big Rob Zombie fan. Like you've watched all of his
even his animation.
Yeah, and you love pretty much I don't think I've ever heard you say that you dislike any of his films.
One definitely less would be the Lords of Salem, but it wasn't a bad movie, it was just weird. And I love the fact that he always uses like it's like Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler has the same people in almost all of his movies. And Rob Zombie does the same thing. He has his wife and he's got his select few people that are all in it. Love it. But this was just a miss.
Yeah. So would you say that like maybe because Rob Zombie, as everyone knows, is usually a pretty, does horror stuff. usually.
Hey, you gotta announce that, right?
Yeah, I know. I learned that from horror movie talk. So he's usually pretty like scary movie kind of person. So do you think like he shouldn't have directed this film because
No,
it was
no, I don't think that. I think it would have been better if they would have stuck with what he wanted in black and white.
Yeah.
Like I think the movie would have been a lot better. I feel like some of the colors and the vibrantness of it just didn't hit. But
But he was forced to do that.
yeah, that wasn't his
He actually
decision.
wanted to film in black and white. They just
Yeah.
wouldn't let him.
Like I feel like you buy the Blu-ray special, it's gonna have that option to where you can just watch the whole thing in black and white. Like there's
That'd be cool.
there's certain superhero movies that do that where it's like, oh, you can watch it in what is it, noir or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
which I think would have made it a little bit better. But and then one of the other things that was kind of threw it off is they go to Paris and like everyone's afraid of him. Like everything they do, everyone's running away. But somehow Lily's brother, the Wolfman, well, whatever his name was, I don't know, Lester. Lester can go to
Yeah.
Vegas and win money, and like it's totally fine.
Well, because he was the
Vegas,
only one
baby.
playing at the table. And nobody else was there.
That's not winning. That's stealing money. He had
No,
a
I
check.
know.
Listen,
He had a
listen.
check.
What
I've
happens in
kinda helped.
Vegas stays in
Stays
Vegas.
in Vegas, yeah.
That's true.
But it seemed like he was always out and about. Like Lily and the dad were in the hotel, like their mansion, and he's out living life as a wolf. Unless he's, only a wolf at night. No, because then when he gave him the money, he was still the wolf man during the day.
I was gonna say, wasn't the wedding during the day?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean, here's the thing. As a wolfman, he can just say that he's just got a really bushy beard or face. Like
With claws.
It could be a condition. I mean, just
And
definitely looked like a wolf.
You look like a wolf.
just bad fingernails. I don't know.
Okay, but the fangs, the eyes, like
Everything. Yeah.
everything about him.
Yeah, it seemed like he was out and about, but when Lily and Herman went out, everyone's running away and didn't want to be anywhere near him. And yeah, he was green, but
All right.
that's just
Yeah.
And then like the humor they went with, like I said, it wasn't like nothing that made me sat there and laughed. And like it just nothing hit.
Okay.
That's pretty much
Understandable. I feel you.
where I was at. And I even told you before, like I saw when you first told me you guys were watching it, I was like, when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, it looks bad. Like I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't know Rob Zombie was a director until you told me Rob Zombie was a director. I probably wouldn't have watched this movie. But hearing that Rob Zombie was the director, I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. And that was a fail.
That's initially why I picked it as well.
Yeah. Like I've loved all of Rob Zombie's movies. Like his rendition of Halloween, amazing.
Oh yeah.
31 is probably one of the craziest movies I've watched and absolutely loved it. And then the 3 parts with, House, Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and what was the last one?
I don't remember either. I can't.
3
help
from
you.
Hell. 3 from Hell.
Yeah.
Like
Waffle's the only one that knows what he's talking about right now.
like huge Rob Zombie fan. But
Yeah. Everything he does is usually pretty good.
yeah.
Cool.
So, whenever I picked this movie to watch, I had 2 things in mind, right? Number 1, I wanted something light and goofy, maybe even a little fun to kind of like bring in the spooky season with. And number 2, it could not be any worse than the other 2 movies we've watched for this podcast yet. I think this movie succeeded in doing both things that I set out for it to do. I do agree some of the scenes did go on a lot longer than they should have. But for the most part, I feel like this movie was a fan's love letter to a series that they watched growing up. you guys said it from even down to the acting. It was basically like you was watching the Munster series or the
Yeah.
prelude to the Munster series. It was goofy. It was corny. The only person that laughed at Herman's jokes was Sammich because Sammich makes the same jokes. But all in all, it did what I wanted it to do. Like I said, it was goofy. It was fun. It was kind of light to bring in the spooky season, if you will.
Yeah.
I, for one, will be watching a lot of gory horror films over the next month, so it was a nice transition from September into October for me. I was a little disappointed in the fact that it was a Rob Zombie film. I was actually expecting something a little more. It probably would have been a lot better, I feel like, if it was shot in black and white, because then you really would be able to say, hey, oh, this is the Munsters. I feel like I'm watching the Munsters, the series that everybody knows and kind of loves, I guess. I don't know. Do people even like the Munsters as a series? I mean, I've seen quite a few
I
of them,
don't know.
but I don't know if I actually liked it.
I
would
wasn't
ass-
around for it, so.
I would assume it did okay. It ran for
I
2
mean,
years.
yeah, and I mean, everybody knows of it, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like to me it was a fan project. Maybe Rob Zombie was a huge fan of the Munsters whenever he was growing up. I feel like all the characters fit pretty well. Uh, like I said, it was pretty on point in that aspect. It was a lot better than the two other movies that we've watched for this podcast, so I did go ahead and give it a 5.
Yeah, it ran 2 years. It ran just as long as the Addams Family, and it ran at the exact same time as
Oh,
not.
see, there you go.
It was
I mean,
64 to 66 for both of them.
it would seem like the Munsters would have its own cult following, just like the Addams Family, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm sure it
probably.
does. Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 83, and audience score is 86. So I mean, it was at least liked at the time, or now it's still liked as a cult classic.
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's all those black and white shows from back in the day, like I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Munsters, Addams Family. They all did really good back in the day.
Yeah.
Now, would they do good now? Most likely not, if they didn't change for the times. But I remember
Yeah.
watching all those with my dad, Get Smart and all that stuff with my dad, and just loving it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the beginning of Get Smart, where he's just walking through a bunch of doors.
So
Yeah.
creepy.
And the fact that they didn't change it a whole lot from the original show was kind of cool, because it
Right,
was
because
for the
most of
people that do follow it, that did
Yeah.
really like it and remember, they didn't change it a whole lot, so
right, because
that
most
would have
people,
been
if they go to make a movie out of something, they butcher the original content, right?
yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
nice to see them kind of keep true to
Yeah.
what we all know.
And I
Yeah.
think it fits as a prequel because it's so close to the original and the people look fairly similar, that I mean, if you were to watch this first and then watch the show, it would probably work really well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Silver, are you asleep again?
Nah, he
Getting
just
there.
looking at the camera.
Would you like to explain your score, please, sir?
Sure.
Yeah, explain us the first 30 minutes, please.
Right.
Yeah,
First
tell
off,
us about it.
I agree with Waffle that scenes are way too long. I can also see where Blessy and Bran are coming from in the sense that, it's a cult classic. People they did hit the characters spot on. I remember as a small child with my dad watching stuff like that, watching the Munsters, the original Munsters, watching it with my grandmother. This was, in my opinion, it just wasn't good. It didn't have the same energy as the original show. It didn't have. It was just lacking. And honestly, yeah, I passed out. I actually fell asleep during the movie. I would wake up periodically and look at the screen, and it would be really bad dad jokes. And I mean, like there's bad dad jokes, and then there was
Herman's jokes.
Herman's jokes,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
It
I
wasn't
didn't
like
miss much.
sitcom humor.
Sandwich
Yeah.
were funny.
I mean, hey, listen, if that's your kind of humor, that's great. I'm not bashing on it.
I mean, only sandwich.
Oh,
I thought
only
they were
sandwich.
funny.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just,
I think he was the only one that laughed the entire time we were watching it.
Guaranteed.
I'm not. Like, I understand that there are people that are going to like this. There are people that follow this as like an occult classic. It just didn't do that for me. And the fact that, as everybody has stated, that Rob Zombie directed this, this is like M. Night Shyamalan vibes. And I'm sorry to use that name here, but that like literally like this is the one that you want to
Hey.
kind of brush under the.
We're trying to keep this family appropriate.
Are we? Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
My bad.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down there, Chief.
All right.
Rob Zombie, if you're listening to this ever, just know that I loved it.
Just
and,
know that I
and
do
you
not.
know what?
I would never compare you to M. Night Shyamalan in my life.
I wouldn't
Oh.
either,
Yeah,
but
if
this was
Rob
that.
Zombie, if you have beef with Silver, let me know.
Hey,
We'll find him. I
hey,
know where he's
listen,
at.
I'll tell you where I live. Like, don't even trip, man. Like, let's have a one-on-one conversation. I'll tell you where you went wrong with this movie, okay?
No.
Rob
Like, I got-
Zombie, if you ever listen to this and you ever want to, come on and talk to us about this movie, I'm totally fine with it. I will
Yeah, I
interview
mean-
you myself and fuck all of them because I thought the movie was fine.
I gave it a 10. I gave it a higher score than you.
I'm talking about the guy who just said, like, I understand where Waffle Man is coming from, and I understand where Blessy and Brand are coming, but fuck me about where I'm coming from. I get it.
Because number one, we know where you stand on this movie. You enjoyed the movie. I'm not sitting here bashing you for that. Like, everybody enjoys different things. In this.
Matt was looking, well,
Hold on.
Silver was looking, yeah.
This movie didn't. It wasn't. It was in the same category as the last two movies. It was not good. It just wasn't good. It didn't captivate you. It didn't like. It's like nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
watch something when you were a child and then you go back to it now, you're like, why did I like that? You know, it
Yeah.
didn't have that nostalgia beyond the fact that the characters looked good, and I'll admit that the actors were spot on. The acting was spot on, but like
Dragged out.
it just dragged
Yeah.
out way too much. Everything
Yeah.
about that was dragged out, and that's why I gave it a 1. It wasn't good.
Well, you were looking for like commentary or content or like something specific to draw you in, and it just wasn't there. So you didn't get drawn into it. So it
I mean,
makes sense.
I was just looking for again the nostalgia. I was
Yeah.
looking for the nostalgia of watching a movie that I watched shows, bits and pieces of shows, and actual full episodes of shows when I was a child, and having that nostalgic feeling of like, oh my god, I'm 5 again, I'm 6 again. Oh, but there was never a moment where I was like, okay, cool, I'm back when I was a kid watching this with my dad and my grandmother. No, it was literally like 30 minutes into it, I'm out. I passed out.
I'm not even sure you could say that because it was exactly what I remembered the Munsters to be. It was before the actual series, sure, but it was. I mean, they all acted just like they should. So I
Yeah.
don't understand why you say there's no similarities in it, and it didn't.
I think it's the sitcom humor.
maybe
It
Yeah.
just wasn't there.
maybe
like,
that's what it is.
It like the jokes that were supposed to hit.
There wasn't
to
no
first-
live audience there telling you to laugh.
Yeah, there was no sign.
Right,
No one-
laugh
Stuff
sign.
isn't as funny when the audience isn't there putting you on.
Straight up, the best joke in the movie is when Blessy was like, "These are sandwiches jokes." That was about the only time I laughed, and it was because he was making fun of someone. But back to the Rob
Poor
Zombie thing,
sandwich.
I kind of would like to know what he thought about his movie.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
I'm
what?
kind of
Fair enough.
interested
I
to be
would-
like, if he was like, it's really not the direction I wanted to go in, and like,
Or like
that'd
he
be
just wanted to try something, then that would be
yeah,
interesting.
like,
to know.
Absolutely.
I know,
I would love to hear what he has to say about
like, I
it.
know he wanted to go black and white. They said no. So like,
Maybe
what
he
other
had a
directions did
total-
he? Yeah, what other directions did he want to go in? And whoever, produced this movie or whatever, told him, nah, that's not what we're going for.
Yeah.
So like, can't really blame Rob Zombie unless it was like 100% his decision to go the way he did.
We may never know.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure with all of his other movies, he's pretty much himself. He does it the way
Yeah.
he wants, and that's final. Where this one's like, oh, it's a Netflix series, and I'm sure he had to go through some of the executives there to get certain things he wanted in and out. So
Yeah. So again, Rob Zombie, I loved it, and it's time for the bum to talk now with the weird
I
hair.
think you just want to meet him. I think you're just like trying to reel him in so you can like hang out with him for a couple hours.
Oh yeah, no,
I
Rob
mean,
it
Zombie.
would be
Let's
amazing.
go. Which of us doesn't want that?
Yeah, that'd be
That's
sick.
very true.
Which one of us would not hang out with Rob Zombie right now?
Rob Zombie, if
would
you
be
need someone in your
awesome.
next movie, we're all for it.
Yeah.
All of us,
Murder-
every one of
I
us.
mean,
All
if
of us.
you
Murder
just-
us,
Yeah.
You just want to come talk to us, that's fine too.
murder us
We
any
love
way you
you.
want. We're there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you rated it. You rated it a 10. You'll get some like love story.
So yeah,
Heck
what's
yeah.
it called? I like this movie, and I'm gonna kind of, break that whole thought process of yours right now, and I'm gonna let you know that he was director, screenplayer, and producer for this movie. So the only thing they shut down was his.
Well, that's
It
the one
being
thing
black
we
and white.
know.
I mean, he wrote the screenplay, so I mean, they could have changed it, but most likely it's the way he wanted it to go. And in my opinion, it was fantastic. It was funny. It was enjoyable. I wrote on my notes wholesome, which is exactly what the Munsters were back in the day. They were goofy, they were wholesome, and it was far-fetched. And that's exactly what he brought to this movie, was a far-fetched, really, like, not smart but lovable character that's just kind of going through the world being
Sammich 2.0.
This is who Sandwich wants to be.
yeah.
He's
And
working on the hairstyle right now.
yeah, exactly.
Just gotta
Trying to get that
level out your head a little
Yeah,
bit.
just get that flat top on the top going.
flat top.
Just move your headset around because the headset gives you a little indent. So just
That
move
does it
forward
for
No.
all of us. Not all of us went and did our hair before the stream.
Excuse me, it's my time to talk. It's the bum's time to talk. Thank you very much.
Sorry, go ahead, sir.
So
Our bad, bro.
I gave this movie a 7 because, as I said, to me it was enjoyable. Some of the jokes, yes, they were not great, but I also found it entertaining because bad jokes can be funny too, especially when you're watching a bumbling moron who apparently is like me, walking through life. I thought the characters were perfect. I thought that the direction of it was good. I mean, yeah, the beginning part I guess seemed long, but I didn't really think it seemed that long because, it kind of just showed how the Nosferatu character was just kind of like into himself.
Into
But
the
yeah.
rat.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he was into the Black Plague. Really, is what gave him the
Yeah.
rat fanatic
True.
part about him.
So I do have a question for you guys, though.
No,
Actually, a couple questions.
never.
Here's the first one. So Lily brings up that and when they're in the graveyard, she says, "This is the grave from one of my lives." So does that mean that she's died and come back, or is it just like we pretended to be dead and then came back?
They didn't explain it.
Yeah, they didn't.
You
they
want
didn't
us
tell
to explain something they didn't?
Yeah, man, my name's not Rob
Well,
Zombie. I didn't write the
here-
screenplay or direct or produce or any of that.
Here's what I'm gonna say about it. I'll take a guess. So we know.
However,
All right, Blessy, come on, let's go. Let's
Go
hear
ahead,
it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So like we know how old she is, right? So we know she's 150. So I feel like if they would have pretended they died and then kept living, they wouldn't have continued the numbers, right? It would have made sense to just start over or
Yeah,
like
her
do
dad was like
something.
500 or something like
Right. So maybe it's just like every decade or something, you know? They like, or I don't know, maybe they just respawn. Like maybe she's 150, but this is like the 4th time. So maybe they did start over at 0. But I don't know. That didn't answer anything. But that was just me talking. that, that wasn't even an answer.
I think
But
I'm more confused now than I was before about the original question. So
I was
Well,
going
that's-
somewhere, and then halfway there, I realized there's really not an end destination. So I just turned back.
vampire lore moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that was more
pretty
of a
much.
question just for you guys to like. Okay, well, this is why I think. But yeah, okay.
Well, I tried. Okay.
that. None of us want to think.
none of us want to think about that. Like, what?
Question 2: how old do you think he is now? Is he the age of the brain or his feet?
Question 2.
How many? Hold on. I'm just curious. How many questions are there?
There are literally 2. Can you let me?
Oh, okay.
Is it-
Last one.
Yeah, you should start with final question
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
for $1 million.
Don't
All
leave
right.
it hanging, bud.
I still want to get to my rating, so I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm not
Alright.
in a rush. I'm not in a rush. I'm
Final
just saying.
question.
Okay.
Final question. Did the mime actually die when he screamed and fell over?
I mean, he's
Okay, so Bran, let's hear about your rating.
No, I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know, bro. Those are the only 2 questions you have about this movie?
What? Just out of curiosity, why are we
Who
having
the
questions
fuck thinks
like?
of these questions?
Right, like what's the Are we having existential crisis over these specific questions? Like,
Yes,
what's
apparently.
up, sandwich? Tell us.
If those 2 answers were question, Josh gave this a 10. But those 2 right there, screwed it. It was a 1.5 for both of them. He's like 7.
Okay,
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna say no, he didn't die because he's a mime.
mimed
So
it.
he just acted. He mimed like he died.
Oh, he
Right.
did.
How do you know? You didn't even see that part of the movie.
And
Right.
Silver
That's why I'm
just
like-
thinks he just
I'm just
fell
going
over
with the
and died.
opposite at this point. Like,
okay. The
I
reason
feel like
why
as a mime, he's seen some shit, and so I feel like seeing Herman and Lily probably wasn't the end of it. Is all I'm saying. Okay, continue. I swear, if you ask us one more question, bro, I'm gonna lose it.
if I keep getting interrupted, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, that's not very nice of you.
He's in charge. Mute everybody.
No. But the reason why I asked the question is because this movie is PG. So that's why I'm wondering if Rob Zombie stuck it in there just to have a aforementioned death in his movie because he is usually a horror movie director.
So are you saying those things he put in there for the for not PG purposes, but that they weren't obvious, so it still would be PG?
Or
That would just-
he wanted to kill someone.
Right.
No, I'm more saying like directors have always put in stuff like that is not appropriate for the movie. That's always happened in movies throughout generations. People put little tidbits in there. Like, what if the
One example.
Well, the mime
Give me
dying
one
clearly.
example
The
of
mime
this
dying
happening.
clearly was pressing
Besides,
for
besides
sandwich.
from this movie, give me one example where that's ever happened. It's happened for generations, so surely you got more than one example ready to go.
Nope. Just the mime died, bro. That's it, Blessy. That's all you get. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough.
No, Sandwich can answer that. I don't know.
I'm not going to get into it, but you can look back at movies. Wizard of Oz had stuff in there that was inappropriate that was put into the movie even after they knew that it happened and it was in the background. You know what it is or you don't. I'm not going to say what happened. Countless Disney movies have had stuff in them that are inappropriate in the background that were left in there by directors or creators or whatever throughout the years. So it's not so much that like he put it in there for a purpose, but sometimes
His staple or whatever. Like, I'm still horror or murder. Like, I don't even know what his movies are considered.
Yeah, like
Or
I'm still a scary movie director. Like, even though
even if the mine died, but what is like Pirates of the Caribbean? It's Disney. What is that rated? Because there's that one where like the
I
people
think
are in the
that's
cage and
PG-13.
and the bird pecks the dude's eye out.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
Like when I saw that was more of a shocker because it's a Disney movie.
No, you know what got me in the Pirates of the Caribbean series was when
Sorry, Josh.
I can't I don't know if it was Davy Jones or if it was somebody. I think it was Davy Jones, but he like got the octopus, like how he's got the tentacles,
Yeah,
and
Davy Jones.
he like sucked somebody's face
Oh yeah.
out, but like the tentacles went like in their eyes and like
And
down
in
their
their mouth.
mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Okay, that's besides
I think
the
that
point.
was the same one too.
Yeah, I think it was the same movie. It might have been.
all
Sorry,
right,
Josh.
yeah,
Going on a
no,
little-
it's good.
We know we're getting examples from Leslie.
No,
so
no,
we're
I
good.
get you. Brandon admitting her love of tentacles. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with him?
Only on the PlayingonEZ podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Right?
comment
He's like,
for
all
more."
right.
No, it was just something that I thought about because, like he put her saying that that was her grave from the past for a reason. It's not just in there for nothing. Like that's something that I noticed. So that's what I was thinking, and then I just wondered if the mime was there to die for a reason.
Just general curiosity.
It was there to make
Yeah,
you
for sure.
ask us this question.
Yeah, apparently a worthless question. I get it. So yeah, now for everyone, what you've actually been waiting for, because the four of us, you really don't care what we think of this movie. What you've all been waiting for is what Bran thought of this movie and why it's a 10.
Okay. So, as I said before, I'd never seen the original show, right? But from watching this movie, I pretty much gathered everything I needed to know about the original show, right? Like, as far as like, why are you laughing?
Silver's face when you said that was like, what the fuck are you saying?
Alright, man. Sorry, I'm not 10,000 years old, okay?
Oh, okay, no, that's fair. Go, no, keep going.
Damn.
No, I was able to kind of see like, okay, this is somewhat how the original show went, right? It wasn't like super different. So like somebody who's never seen the Munster show, when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, this is like how the show is, right? And it actually was like fairly show. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody but me. The other reason I liked it it was really cheesy and it was super cute and I really liked the love story in it. Even though that's probably not what this movie was made for.
Oh, it for sure was made.
But
for a love
it was
story.
really adorable. I do agree that like when they fell in love and like the artwork around them when the scene paused and like all the hearts showed up and stuff like that, it was super cheesy and I did think it was really drawn out. And I was kind of like, okay, we kind of like already know that now, so we can like kind of move along. But it still was super cute. And then okay, so I have a question because Sandwich asked a couple. I really don't even know if you guys are gonna answer this because it's kind of I don't really know what
Just
I'm gonna
ask the question. God damn.
Okay, so I'm thinking. Okay, so stop looking at me. Okay, no, so he took all these different body parts. Like he took the fingers from like the best piano player in the world. He was dead. He took the smartest brain, right? So when Herman did come alive, he asked him to play the piano, right? And he couldn't play the piano. And my question was like, it's not because he was dumb that he couldn't play the piano. It's just that in his past life, he wasn't a piano player. So like piano player, I said that really. So like when they took his brain and like kind of resurrected him, he wouldn't have been able to play the piano anyway. So like even if the scientist did get the right brain, even if he had like the legs or the feet fastest people in the world or like whatever, I don't even know if that would have mattered because if the original brain from the person wasn't able to do that, why would they be able to do that when they were resurrected? So I thought that was kind of weird. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, but he did the algebra.
Right. Okay. There was.
The math work was there. It would have worked.
Yeah, I think he wrote like y equals
I-
something.
He did
No,
the math. It would have worked.
That
I
was my question, because like even if he did have that, if the original brain can do it,
I think the scientist was heavily relying on muscle memory, which that muscle memory is a
that
thing.
is true.
But muscle memory, it's like you said, you need the original brain for
Right.
from that specific muscle memory to
Right.
function or work. So yes, he had the fingers from the best pianist, but that didn't do him any good because
That was the one thing I was kind of like, how is that like supposed to work out anyway?
it wasn't.
Anyway, yeah.
It wasn't, but you know,
So yeah,
still a 10.
yeah, it's 100% still a 10. They literally went into the sewer and got their own pet. Okay, how
This
adorable
movie's
is
logic
that?
is flawed. It's a 10.
That's what I did on the first one. On the first one, I was like, the trailer was way better than the movie, but I still gave it a 10.
But it's still a 10.
So yeah, no, I thought it was super cute. The acting was awesome. Yeah. Okay. My other thing was like, so we know who the dad is. We know who like Lily and Lester's dad is, right? But like,
Yeah.
I really want to meet the mothers because Lester looks like a wolf, and I'm like, I just want to know what his mom would have looked like, or what heck of magic went into creating. Because he was straight up a wolf man, and their father was just like a regular vampire.
Yeah, he was a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
I
remember in
just,
the original series if they actually ever show her.
I don't think
yeah.
they do.
So I'm
They
just
don't.
kind of curious to like. I mean, we see his ex-wife, but I don't even know if that's like the mother of
Yeah.
Lily. I don't know. I was just
I
kind
would
of
assume
curious
that's not.
to see. Right. Me too. But I just kind of curious to see what Lester's mom would look like specifically because he's literally a wolf.
Yeah, because I
So,
think in the series the dad starts dating a human, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Hollywood.
remember, but
But yeah. So I just want to see what Lester's mom looks like. That's all. I don't want to judge him. I just
Want to
How did-
see
Fair
how did he get so much hair?
how he's a
That's all.
werewolf. It is well, she's a vampire. He's a werewolf. So yeah, so
Right.
it's like same mom, different mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just. It could like not be his dad. It could be like his stepdad or something, and he just like hangs out because him and Lily grew up together. I don't really. I just curious. I was like, this dude's really hairy. Like, where's your mom at? Was kind of my.
Where's your mom at? Why are you so hairy?
Yeah, I was like, where's the other half of your parent? Like, that's probably that's actually probably why he's got so many issues because
yeah, and much to
I
like
don't know.
my
Mom left for
questions,
milk.
Yep.
much for like my questions. It's a movie. We don't need. I mean, even I delved a little too deep, and now we just delved even deeper. Who's the parents?
No, because I was literally thinking, I was like, how did Lester know that they moved to Hollywood, right? Because nobody ever told him anything. He just kind of showed up. And then I was like, oh yeah, he's a werewolf. So he probably just like went to the mansion and like followed their scent like all the way from Transylvania to
True.
Hollywood.
He followed
But-
their scent in an
Does
airplane.
get
yeah.
a sniffer.
Yes, they did go in an airplane. I
He
understand
can fly
it's
as a
not.
werewolf. He's not a vampire. He can't just turn into a bat.
Yeah.
Or can
So-
he?
Or candy.
The
I also
vampire
thought
bat.
it was funny that Lily's dad. Her dad is the Count. I thought it was funny that the Count turned like his assistant into a bat, and like had absolutely no idea how to turn him back.
Well, he tried to create her a husband too and mess that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
So somehow when the Count made the person, he had put like dancing shoes in the pot, and the monkey came out and was able to dance, but the scientist guy couldn't figure it out. Like
Yeah, his was easier to make than the other
that's
stealing body parts.
That's
He was
true.
like, "Oh, cool, shoes from a guy that is dead."
Yeah, that is true too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that was the movie though, and those are our scores. And yeah, it was everybody felt different. I mean, the real question is with all those different body parts, how big is Herman Munsters? No, I'm just kidding. But
Oh my
Oh,
lord.
I
I am.
This guy. All right, guys. So,
Well,
I
I'm actually
did-
Waffle
curious
Man?
on one thing. I'm curious on one thing. I wonder if he put any like Easter eggs in the background, like from his other movies.
oh,
with, like,
I'm
Rob
sure.
Zombie.
I'm
would
sure.
you be willing to watch it again to find out?
I will.
If someone else does a podcast where they talk about the Easter eggs, I'll watch that. I don't know. I'll be willing to watch the movie again. If they can give me like times in the movie that I can skip to, I maybe.
I also was very impressed that the actor who played Herman was able to walk on like the stilts or like the really tall boots that
Yeah.
Herman
The
wears.
platforms.
Yeah. I was like, that was pretty cool. The fact that he did the entire movie
Yep.
like that. I mean, I understand that's in character, but it's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's we watched the Munsters. Next week.
Hold on, sorry, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, stop interrupting her. This is her turn.
No, my bad. I know my other thing that I just thought of. I was like, is he hollow? Is Herman hollow?
When you take a body part.
Because every
Is the-
time they
Is the
tap
body
on
they
part
him,
wouldn't.
hollow?
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
time
true.
they tap
Because
on
every time
him,
they
he
knocked on him.
Yeah.
yeah, he sounded hollow. And like
But they-
even when the scientists listened to like
Yeah.
his chest to see if his heart was beating.
They never said that, he said he took the best legs, the arms, the head, the hands. They never said maybe his body is. Like maybe
Hollow.
it's not, maybe it's just like a metal shell and
It's
then that
squishy, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
That was my other thing. He was hollow. I also thought that was kind of cool. It reminded me of the Wizard of Oz. All right, I'm done.
Okay, I tried to see if there was any Easter eggs. It doesn't say, but the two of the original characters, it may have been three, were actually involved with the creation of this movie. But yeah, so that was, the Munsters. We watched it. Some of us liked it, some of us didn't. Next week our next episode we will be watching Mr. Hannigan's Phone because it's my pick this time. That movie comes out Wednesday. It's another horror movie. Also, David, Bryce, if you guys ever listen to this, I am sorry. Please don't come after me for saying it like that. But when I say horror, it sounds like I'm saying horror.
Well, because you are.
I mean,
Just kidding.
You
are.
should just go with whore and whore.
But yeah, we'll be
Make it
watching.
sound French.
We'll be watching Mr. Hannigan's Phone. It's a new horror movie that's coming out on Netflix next week, and it is PG-13, so I assume it's probably going to be terrible, like every other movie that we've watched, from what these guys say.
I've liked them.
Yes, you've given a 10 on every single one,
I'm
including the one you didn't watch.
I
Cool,
just
cool,
I
cool.
just want to make sure I'm not included in. You say everybody likes these.
Yeah,
That's
so
not accurate. Kidding.
tune in
Are-
next time.
Are we done? Y'all ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, but I mean, if you got something else to say, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna wrap it up.
Okay, go ahead, wrap it up.
All right. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Please be sure to
Wait,
follow, subscribe,
wait.
comment.
wait.
Don't listen to Sandwich right now. I'm in the middle of something. Waffle
you
Man, thanks for
clapping in the
coming out.
No problem. Anytime, guys.
It was great having you.
It was a blast.
It's always fun whenever you're around for sure. What sandwich will you want?
So we're still trying to figure. I know that we've said Thursday and Friday might be the day that these come out.
Thursday
We're
night, Friday
still
morning,
figuring it out because some people have trouble with like staying up late on Thursday, Friday, or
It's
Thursday,
It's me.
and
Staying up.
unfortunately,
I
I
have
am.
But
to
that's
clock
just
work.
that's just whenever you release. We record it obviously. way
Whenever
before
we
that.
want to.
Yeah, no,
So
but
there's not-
I unfortunately am also in the busy season of my job, so sometimes I'm working late, which really screws up everything. So
In other
we're gonna
words, we don't have a schedule yet, fellas.
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, we're trying our best. I'm sorry, it's mainly me because I'm the one that works super late hours comparatively. But we are going to try and get that settled. Also, look forward to, I think me and possibly Blessy and definitely Silver are going to probably release a video sometime this week about oh my gosh, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. My brain farted. I'm sorry. So
No,
look
you
forward to
should-
that.
You should get that checked out.
And
If
yeah,
you're
I guess I
Ezra.
should get it checked out. Ho 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 ho!
Oh my gosh.
That guy nailed his laugh.
To be fair,
To be
brain
fair.
of the
To
human
be fair,
was a comedian, so that's why when Herman was made, he was a comedian. It was terrible. I did think he was funnier as Herman, though.
All right, Blessy, go ahead.
Bye.
I've already done it once. What do you mean?
what do you
Anyways,
mean?
Thank you guys for listening again.
Thanks,
And
everybody.
for the past 5 minutes listening again. Waffle Man, great having you, of course. Thanks for joining us. Silver, you're beautiful as always. Bran, you're awesome.
Mwah.
Sandwich,
So are you.
you're kind of mid. You're a Jimmy.
Damn.
We'll get the schedule figured out.
Considering that this
we'll
podcast
get
was
things-
kind of his idea.
We'll
That's
get
rough.
this figured out. Yeah, so thank you guys. Please like, follow, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate your time.
Yep.
All right, Blessy, are you ready to wrap it up?
Week.
Have a good one,
It's done.
everyone.
Have a good night. And Rob
Bye,
Zombie,
guys.
again, we love you. If you want to come on and let us interview you, I am
100%.
100% down.
Yeah. Do it.
If
Good
you just
night.
want to come on here and roast me, cool.
All right, Blessy, wrap it up for us.
Okay, guys, bye.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.